Erling Haaland's first competitive appearance since his unforgettable World Cup summer did not go the way anyone at Manchester City had hoped. In a match that marked the official beginning of the post-Guardiola era at the Etihad, Arsenal delivered a resounding statement, thrashing Manchester City 3-0 in the FA Community Shield and leaving Haaland visibly isolated for long stretches of the afternoon. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly how this match unfolded, break down Haaland's specific performance and reaction to the result, and explore why American fans, many of whom had spent the summer falling head over heels for him during the World Cup, found this early setback such a fascinating storyline to follow. So let us get into everything that happened. To understand why this particular match carried extra significance, you have to remember the context surrounding it. This was Manchester City's first competitive fixture, under new manager Enzo Maresca, who officially replaced Pep Guardiola, following a decade defined by sustained success under his predecessor. It also marked Haaland's first appearance since Norway's own World Cup run ended in heartbreak against England back in July, giving fans their first real look at how he would transition from international tournament hero back into club football under an entirely new system. Facing Arsenal, freshly crowned back-to-back Premier League champions under Mikel Arteta, in the traditional season-opening fixture at Cardiff's Principality Stadium, gave this match considerably more weight than a typical pre-season exhibition normally carries. Before we get into exactly how the match unfolded, take a second to hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed, because we are covering every angle of Manchester City's new era as it continues to develop. It only takes a second, and it genuinely helps the channel. Alright, let us get into it. Things went wrong for City almost immediately. Arsenal needed just 23 seconds to break through City's defense, with Riccardo Calafiori coolly finishing after a brilliant pass from Miles Lewis-Skelly to open the scoring. City's shaky start continued from there, and just before the half-hour mark, Martin Odegaard was afforded far too much space to cross toward Christos Tzolis, who headed the ball across to Kai Havertz. The German connected well enough to force goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma into fumbling the ball over the line, doubling Arsenal's advantage before the first half had even reached its midpoint. City did create two genuine opportunities to respond before half-time, with Haaland himself seeing a shot saved by David Raya and Ben White making a crucial goal-line intervention to deny Jeremy Doku. But City went into the break, trailing by 2 goals despite those brief flashes of promise. Any hope of a City comeback was extinguished almost immediately after the restart. Just 3 minutes into the second half, Odegaard was again given far too much room by a City defense still finding its footing under its new manager, driving past Josko Gvardiol and beating Donnarumma to make it 3-0, a result that effectively settled the destination of the trophy well before the hour mark. Maresca used the remainder of the match to rotate his squad and manage minutes ahead of the upcoming Premier League season, while Arteta similarly used the closing stages to give his own players valuable game time, with Arsenal comfortably seeing out the remainder of the match to complete a genuinely emphatic 3-0 victory. For Haaland specifically, this match proved to be a difficult and largely isolated experience. Match reports described him as cutting an isolated figure against Arsenal's well-organised back line, marshalled effectively throughout the afternoon by centre-back Gabriel Magalhaes. Beyond his one genuine opportunity that was saved by Raya in the first half, he struggled to consistently get involved in the match, a frustrating turn of events for a player who had spent the entire summer delivering record-breaking performances on the World Cup stage just weeks earlier. Post-match analysis specifically noted that he was left isolated for long periods and simply could not convert the one clear sight of goal that came his way during the entire 90 minutes. Despite the disappointing scoreline, Haaland did not let the defeat go unanswered. Taking to Instagram following the match, he posted a short but defiant message looking ahead to the upcoming season, writing simply that the marathon is just getting started. That brief, confident response fit perfectly with the personality fans had already come to know and appreciate throughout his World Cup summer. Someone who processes setbacks quickly and keeps his focus firmly fixed on the bigger picture rather than dwelling on a single difficult afternoon in what is ultimately a season-opening exhibition match rather than a competitive Premier League fixture. It is worth putting this result into proper context. The Community Shield has historically carried little genuine predictive value regarding how the actual Premier League season will unfold, often serving more as a straightforward exhibition than a true form guide. Still, this particular meeting carried extra symbolic weight given the timing, marking the very first test of the post-Guardiola era at Manchester City, and Arsenal's dominant, one-sided victory offered an early, attention-grabbing storyline heading into the new season, regardless of how much genuine tactical significance the result ultimately holds. The match represented City's 500-and-something competitive meeting with Arsenal in a rivalry that has intensified considerably since Manchester City's ownership takeover back in 2008, adding further historical weight to what was technically just a season-opening exhibition. For American fans who had spent the entire summer falling for Haaland's personality and record-breaking World Cup performances, this early setback generated a genuinely mixed but engaged reaction. Some expressed surprise at seeing him look so uncharacteristically quiet after such a dominant tournament, with social media commentary noting the stark contrast between his World Cup dominance and his relatively subdued Community Shield performance. Others focused specifically on his post-match Instagram message, appreciating the same confident, unbothered attitude that had already endeared him to American audiences throughout the summer, treating his marathon comment as further proof of the mental resilience that had defined so much of his public persona over the past several months. Stepping back from this single result, this match represents just the opening chapter of what promises to be a fascinating season for Manchester City under their new managerial regime. With Maresca still working to implement his own tactical system and identity following Guardiola's decade-long reign, some early growing pains are arguably to be expected, particularly against a well-drilled, defensively organised Arsenal side that has now established itself as the Premier League's most dominant team over the past 2 seasons. How City and Haaland specifically respond to this opening setback, beginning with their actual Premier League opener against Burnley, will offer a far more meaningful indication of how this new era is likely to unfold than a single pre-season exhibition match ever could. At the end of the day, this Community Shield defeat offered American fans their first real glimpse of Haaland navigating a genuine setback since his unforgettable World Cup summer, and the response, both his performance and his composed reaction afterward, gave fans plenty to discuss as the new season approaches. Whether this result proves to be a meaningful early warning sign for Manchester City's new era or simply a forgettable pre-season blip, Haaland's own confident declaration that the marathon is just getting started suggests he, at least, is not particularly worried about what one difficult afternoon in Cardiff might mean for the months ahead. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you are subscribed so you catch our next video the moment Manchester City's Premier League campaign kicks off, because after a result like this one, there is plenty riding on how they respond.